All right, America, lean in because I am about to tell you the real truth about insurance in the United States. And this is the stuff that adjusters pray you never learn. The stuff they do not put on TV commercials with the cute lizard or the nice lady with the headset. Here's the hook that should make your blood boil a little. In the United States, families pay an average of over $7,000 a year for car and home insurance combined, and another $6,000 or more for health insurance if they buy it themselves. And yet, when they actually file a claim, more than 60% of them accept the first offer without fighting, even though that first offer is lowballed by 30 to 60% on purpose. That is not an accident. That is not a mistake in the system. That is the system. The whole game is collect premiums fast, pay claims slow, and pay as little as possible while smiling at you and calling you friend. I learned this the hard way when I was dead broke, running my little micro business out of a one-car garage, trying to make rent, trying to keep the lights on, trying to look legit. My delivery van got smashed by a guy who was texting and driving, and I thought I was good because I had full coverage and I had never missed a payment in my life. The adjuster showed up the next day, super friendly, super smooth, khakis, polo shirt, clipboard. Called me boss, told me I was good, told me his job was to take care of me. Then he slid a check across the hood of my van that would not even cover the cost of a used transmission, let alone the whole repair and the 2 weeks of work I was about to lose. I remember looking at that check and thinking, wait, I have been paying this company every single month for years for this. That was the moment I realized adjusters do not work for you. They work for the shareholders. Their performance review is based on how much money they save the company, not how much they help you. So today I am burning the playbook and giving it to you for free, for car, for home, for health, because you are a micro business, you are a family, you are a hustler, and you cannot afford to get played. Secret number one, the recorded statement trap. You just got in a car wreck or a pipe burst in your house, or you are sitting in the ER trying to figure out if your kid is okay, and your phone rings. It is the adjuster. Super nice, super calm, says, hey, I just need a quick recorded statement to get things moving faster for you so we can get you paid. Sounds helpful, right? It is not helpful. It is a trap. In America, that recording can and will be used against you. They are trained to ask leading questions like, how are you feeling today? And if you say, oh, I am okay, or I am fine, they will use that one word 6 months later when your neck is killing you and you need an MRI. They will say, on tape, you said you were fine. Or they ask, how fast were you going? And you say, I do not know, maybe 45, even though the speed limit is 35. Now you admitted to speeding. You never have to give a recorded statement to the other guy's insurance, ever, under any circumstances in the United States. For your own company, you can say, I will provide a written statement after I have had a chance to calm down and review my notes. Adjusters absolutely hate that because a written statement does not give them the gotcha moment they want. Good, let them hate it. Secret number two, the first offer is always garbage, and I mean always. This is true for car, home, and health. The first check is what insiders call the go-away money. It is a test to see if you are desperate, dumb, or tired. Most Americans are all three because life is expensive and we are exhausted. For car claims, they use software that looks for the cheapest comparable cars in a 500-mile radius, cars with salvage titles, cars with twice the miles, cars that have been sitting on a lot for a year, and they say, see, your car is only worth this. Your car is worth way more. You fight it with real comps from Auto Trader, Car Gurus, Kelley Blue Book, local dealers, Facebook Marketplace, screenshots. You show receipts for new tires, new brakes, new windshield, that business wrap, that tool rack, that stereo. You demand diminished value, which means even if they fix your car perfectly, your car now has an accident history and is worth less. In many states, you can get $2,000 to $4,000 just for that. They will never bring it up. You have to demand it. For home claims, they do the same thing. Your roof will cost $28,000 to replace. They offer you $12,000 and say depreciation, wear and tear. That is not a mistake. That is strategy. You get your own contractor to write a full Xactimate estimate. The same software they use. When you speak Xactimate, they cannot pretend they do not understand. Secret number three, the health insurance delay until you die game. If you have dealt with health insurance in America, you know this nightmare loop. You go to an in-network hospital, you see an in-network doctor, you do everything right, then you get a letter that says denied, not medically necessary, prior authorization required, experimental, out of network, even though the ER was in network. So you call, you wait on hold for an hour, you send records, then they say we need more records, then they say we need a different form, then they say, oops, we lost it, please resend. This is not incompetence, this is intentional. In the United States, insurance companies have data that shows if they delay long enough, almost half of people just give up and pay the bill themselves or skip care. Here is the secret they never tell you. You have two nuclear options. First, peer-to-peer review. You tell your doctor, doc, please request a peer-to-peer with the medical director at the insurance company. That is doctor to doctor, and it overturns denials way more often than a phone rep ever will. Second, external appeal. Every state has an independent external review board. When you file an external appeal, the decision leaves the insurance company entirely. And in America, when it goes external, patients win about 50% of the time. Adjusters will never mention external review because when you go external, they lose control. Also, always ask for the denial in writing with the exact reason and the exact policy language. Make them quote the policy. Half the time they cannot. Secret number 4, hidden coverages you already paid for that they pretend do not exist. This one makes me savage. You are paying for stuff every month and they just stay quiet and hope you never ask. For car insurance, you likely have rental, reimbursement, towing, loss of use, and diminished value. But they will not bring it up unless you say the magic words. Loss of use for a micro business is huge. If your work truck is in the shop for 15 days and you normally make $300 a day with that truck, that is $4,500 they owe you for loss of use. You have to show your invoices, your bank statements, your booking calendar. For home insurance, you have ordinance and law, also called code upgrade coverage. If your house was built in 1995 and the city now requires hurricane clips, hardwired smoke detectors, new electrical, that extra cost is covered up to 10 or 25% of your dwelling limit, but they will not add it unless you demand it. You also have loss of use or additional living expenses, which means if your house is unlivable, they have to pay for hotel, Airbnb, food, mileage, laundry. People leave thousands on the table because they do not track it. For health insurance, you have case management and network gap exceptions. If there is no specialist in network within a reasonable distance or time who can treat your condition, you can force them to cover an out-of-network specialist at in-network prices. You have to say the words, I am requesting a network gap exception due to lack of adequate in-network access. Nobody tells you that. Secret number 5, nice is a weapon and time is a weapon. Your adjuster is so sweet, calls you honey, calls you boss, says take your time, focus on healing, we got this. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking and she knows every deadline you do not. In America, your policy has hidden deadlines. For home, you often have only 1 year to file a supplemental claim if you find more damage. And for car, storage fees at the tow yard are $100 to $200 a day, and they will let your car sit there for a week while they take their sweet time, so you get desperate. For health, you only have 180 days to appeal a denial, then you lose the right forever. So you flip the script. You become the most organized pain in the neck they have ever met. You take photos and video before anything moves. You email instead of calling, so there's a paper trail. Every call you follow up with an email that says, per our conversation today, you said this. You say, please confirm in writing. You send things certified mail. You set your own deadline, like please respond by Friday at 5 p.m. When you act like a business, they have to treat you like a business. Secret number 6, do not let them pick your people. The car adjuster says we have a preferred shop we can get you in tomorrow, lifetime warranty. The home adjuster says we have a preferred contractor network, it will be so easy. And the health adjuster says you need to go to our independent medical exam with our doctor. In America, preferred means cheap for them, not good for you. You have the legal right to choose your own shop, your own contractor, your own doctor. Their shop is trying to keep the insurance happy so they get more referrals. Your shop works for you. For a house, hire a local licensed contractor who knows how to fight insurance and who writes estimates in Xactimate. If the loss is big, interview a public adjuster. A public adjuster works for you and takes 10 to 15% of the new money they get you, but often they double or triple the settlement. For health, never go to an insurance-required exam alone. Bring someone, bring your records, and check if your state allows you to record it. Secret number 7, social media will wreck your claim faster than anything else you do. I am talking to my micro business business hustlers especially, you file a claim saying your back is destroyed from a car wreck and you cannot work, then you post a video lifting a refrigerator up 3 flights of stairs for a client. You file a home claim saying your house is unlivable and you need additional living expenses. Then you post poolside stories from your living room. You file a health claim for surgery, and then you post, I feel great, no pain today, blessed. Adjusters in the United States legally stalk your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, your YouTube. They screenshot everything. They will pull your posts and show them to a jury or use them to deny you. Rule is simple. When you have an open claim, go dark. No posts about the accident, no posts about injuries, no posts about money, no check-ins, no rants. Make everything private and tell your friends and family not to tag you. I know it sucks, but it is temporary and it can save you $10,000. Secret number 8, the depreciation scam and how to beat it. For home and car, they love to hit you with depreciation. They say your 10-year-old roof had only 5 years left, so we are only paying half. That is actual cash value. But most American homeowners have replacement cost coverage, which means they owe you the full cost to replace it with similar quality today, not the garage sale value from 10 years ago. What they do is pay you actual cash value first and hope you do not know how to get the rest. You get the rest by doing the repairs and submitting the final invoice for recoverable depreciation. Same with personal property. They say your 5-year-old couch was worth $50. If you have replacement cost on contents, they owe you what it costs to buy a similar couch today. You have to inventory everything, even socks and spoons, with photos and submit it. People leave $20,000 in personal property on the table because they are too overwhelmed to list it. Do not be that person. Secret number 9, medical billing codes are where health claims live or die in America. Every single doctor visit is a code, and if one letter is off, claim denied. When they say not medically necessary, 9 times out of 10 it is a coding problem. Your doctor billed a symptom code instead of a diagnosis code. You call the billing office and say, please review the CPT and ICD-10 codes for medical necessity and resubmit with better chart notes. Also, always demand an itemized bill, not a summary. Hospitals charge $500 for a Tylenol on a summary bill. When you ask for itemized, they magically find discounts. And never pay a bill that is under appeal. If it is in appeal, it is not due. If a collector calls, you say this is under appeal per federal law, and you send them proof. Secret number 10, the power of the Department of Insurance complaint. In every single state in America, there is a Department of Insurance, DOI, and insurance companies are terrified of them. When you file a formal DOI complaint online, which is free and takes 15 minutes, your claim gets pulled from the regular adjuster and sent to a special escalation team that actually has authority to pay more money. I have seen home claims go from $15,000 to $40,000 within 2 weeks of a DOI complaint. I have seen health denials overturned in 3 days. It is not magic, it is accountability. Adjusters will never tell you to file a DOI complaint for obvious reasons. You also have the right to ask for their license number and their supervisor's name and number in writing. When you start asking for that, they know you are not playing. Now let me wrap this with an analogy every micro business owner in America will feel in their bones. Dealing with an insurance adjuster without knowing these secrets is like doing a catering gig for 500 people, buying all the food yourself, cooking for 2 days straight, and then letting the client say, actually, I will pay you what I think it is worth, not what we agreed. You would never accept that in your business. You would have a contract. You would have photos. You would have receipts. You would have a backbone. Your insurance policy is a contract. They owe you what they owe you, not what they feel like paying you after you have been paying them for years. So you document like a CEO, you negotiate like a closer, and you escalate like a Karen who knows her rights. If you are watching this and you have an open claim right now, do these 3 things tonight. 1, pull your policy and read the declarations page so you know what you actually have. 2, start a claim folder with photos, videos, emails, receipts, everything. 3, write a professional email that says, please confirm all coverages that may apply to my loss, including but not limited to loss of use, code upgrade, and recoverable depreciation. Watch how fast their tone changes, and I promised you what is next, so here it is. Next week on this micro business channel, we are doing the episode everyone has been begging for, term versus whole life insurance, with real whiteboard math, no sales pitch, no nonsense. I am going to show you on the whiteboard why that whole life policy your cousin is trying to sell you as an investment might be the worst investment in American history, with fees that eat you alive, and how a simple cheap term policy plus investing the difference in a basic basic index fund could make you a millionaire by the time you retire. We are going to do the math live, year by year, dollar by dollar, so you can see it with your own eyes. If you have kids, if you have a business, if you care about leaving money behind, you cannot miss it. So if this saved you money or just made you mad enough to finally fight back, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell so you do not miss the whiteboard math, and share this with someone who is dealing with insurance right now. And here is my debate starter for the comments. I want to hear from real Americans who have been through it. Do you think insurance adjusters are just regular folks doing their job inside a messed up corporate system? Or do you think they are trained from day one to lowball honest, hardworking people and make it feel normal? What was your worst experience with car, home, or health insurance, and what did you do to fight back? Let me know below. I read every comment.